Hi guys, welcome back to Girls, Gays and Gossip podcast hosted by yours truly, Eva.
And Meg.
We'll address the elephant in the room. Josh isn't here because he's quit. No, I'm just joking. He hasn't actually quit. He's just too busy for us. So Meg has very, very generously decided to step in for us today. But you are going to have to bear with because obviously the plan that we had was to do our Love Island debrief because obviously the finals tonight. Obviously, that was supposed to be me and Josh. Meg hasn't been watching, but she's caught up today just for this.
Throughout the season on TikTok, so I'm pretty caught up with what's going on.
And I feel like, with TikTok and the way this day and age is, everyone knows what's going on regardless of if you watch it. So I thought we'd start off with like our opinions on all the drama. I know obviously you've not watched the whole episode every night, so I'll fill you in.
Go on.
So I think kind of like I couldn't care less about like Jack and all of them ones. I really don't care about their drama because he was so boring. I was so glad when he left. But I think the main drama this year was between the girls. The girls, oh my god, I feel like it was worse than the one in the summer.
Yeah, I saw that.
Obviously, I think the biggest drama was obviously between like Belle and Lucinda, Sammy and Lucinda. I think Whitney and Leanne had a little bit of a tiff at some point, but I think it was more just to do with like the fact that Leanne pulled Yaman into the secret garden after speaking to Whitney, saying she was going to talk to all the lads, and then made a beeline for Yaman, and she was just a bit like, but that's obviously her best friend's man in there, like, do you know what I mean? It was a bit awkward, but I think the main drama was obviously with Lucinda and everybody else. Obviously, I think the first thing was obviously I feel it was between Sammy and Lucinda was the very first kind of big blow up.
On the outside they were friends. Apparently, I don't actually think they were friends. I think they were just under the same management, and they went on like PR trips together and stuff. And obviously, I'm not an influencer, so I don't know, but I think a lot of them do get close because of they're in the same management. So I don't know, like for someone who hasn't watched it, I did think with the whole Sammy Lucinda thing, I think it could have got like nipped in the bud straight away. But then obviously I saw things back the pie in the face. And I
think that whole scenario, I think both girls were fair in what they were saying.
Yeah.
I think what didn't help is obviously Lucinda has a tendency to laugh. And like, don't get me wrong, we all laugh in really awkward situations, but in that moment you just have to hold it in. Do you know what I mean? Like as much as you can, because that does look like if you were saying to me about a problem you had with me and I'm sat there laughing in your face, it does look really disrespectful.
No, I get it. I do get it. I just think like the whole thing, like she kept bringing up this pie thing, and obviously like it was ages ago, and I get it's annoying because if I pied you, you'd be fuming about it.
Yeah.
But I just think you're only in there for a short amount of time. Like, go spend it with the person you're with, not stressing about things like pies or like, friendship, because they all know each other. They do. They're all friends, not friends. Who really cares? But you're in there to find someone, and you're more obsessed with making friends with people you already know. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really make sense.
I think the first lot of drama came down to the fact that Lucinda picked Kieran in the recoupling, her very first one, which was a bit odd because she only had one conversation with him. She had conversations with Tommy and this, that, and the other, but then went for Kieran. And then obviously to the public, that does look like, you're doing it for the drama and you're stirring up a couple who are very much happy in their couple. When you're going off one conversation, and like the footage that they shown of that conversation was friendly conversation.
But didn't she only have like a day to pick though?
Yeah, but it was more down to the fact she'd had quite a few conversations with Sean and Tommy.
Right.
And then obviously, and Jack, she'd had multiple conversations with them, but only one with Kieran. And then in the kitchen, she said to Scott and Shaq about the fact that she made her decision to throw. Well, Shaq implied it. He said, "Did you do that to like throw everybody off?" And she was like, "Well, yeah, basically." And she was like, "I'm like a dark horse."
Throw from what though?
Off the trail of the fact that she was going to go for Kieran. It was like trying to like gaslight people into thinking she wasn't going to go for him, and then ended up going for him. And then obviously there was the massive blow up between Sammy and Lucinda off the back of that, and it was very much like Lucinda then just kept dragging up loads of stuff that had happened in the past, like about the fact that she didn't get invited to her PR event And then Sammy was like, well, you were away, and she was like, no, I wasn't, I remember. But then the TikTok people have gone through her Instagram. She was in New York. She wasn't even in the UK. And I was just like, and she banged on about, she just, I think what baffles me is she'll say about the fact she can't remember, and then she has, oh, well, but I've got such a good memory. And I'm like, but you literally just said yesterday about
all
the fact
the clips I've saw in the villa of her, she seemed really overstimulated.
I think she's going to think she's coming out to everyone loving her and Sean. She's coming out to an autism test. I swear to God, the whole of the UK has diagnosed her with autism.
I saw that too. But like, she seemed really like overwhelmed in conversations. Like, I saw a clip, and I think it was like they were sat around the table. I don't know what it was for though.
That was the like All Stars dinner.
Yeah, and like everything, like she just seemed really like overwhelmed with.
She was just like Control Alt Delete, and I was like, stop coming up with these one-liners because they're not taking us. No one's using them.
No, they are quite funny
though. The one line of the season for this one was charge it. Everyone's saying charge it.
Yeah, but I hate it.
But it's overused because of how many times they've said it.
There's nothing to charge.
Charge it to the game.
No.
But and then obviously the bigger argument was obviously Belle and Lucinda, and that whole thing stemmed from the fact that she was so happy with Tommy, and then obviously the 6 people got picked to go over to USA Villa, and then whilst Belle was away, the mice will play. And obviously Lucinda then started to get to know Sean, and literally in the space of 24 hours, they're just like all over each other and like.
Well, with what I saw, Belle wasn't innocent. She was getting to know other people. I don't know if it was in a game though.
The kissing and all that was in a game. And then Carrington had tried to get to talk to her, and he went to kiss her, and she was like, no, like I'm loyal, like I don't like, because this had happened not long after the whole thing between Scott and Sean, where Scott had like said about him, I don't conform to your tears and all of that. And obviously she backed him up in that, and that's where she's very much like, I've like given Sean the second chance, like she's going to be loyal. And then she's come back to find that, you know, those two have cracked on with each other. But I think what Sammy was saying to Lucinda was about the fact that the whole like 2 days that they were all away, all she was going on about was how much she missed Tommy and she hopes he's not doing this. And then all of a sudden it was then on to Sean.
That is quite
I was
weird.
like, that's just a bit odd. How have you gone from this to that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think the whole thing was just blown way out of proportion. Like the argument has literally carried on for weeks at this point. I'm sure that happened in like week 2. This is what I was
saying about like the thing with Sammy, like that should have been deaded. And then like the whole pie thing, that's a different thing. But to keep going back to the same thing that it originally started from, this is the thing with Belle. Like it kept going back that Lucinda got with Sean. Okay, yeah, they were wrong. They did own up to it. They did apologise. Yeah. And it is Love Island. It's not Friend Island. Like you're going in to get in a relationship. And do you think that she had a better connection with Sean? Then Lucinda is in her right to like go explore that really. But the way it was done wasn't great. It doesn't look very good.
I think the main thing on that, I think, obviously, I am a Belle stan, but that's purely because I'd be the exact same.
See, but I'm quite fiery, and I like don't get me wrong, I really like Belle. Like I think she stands for what she thinks is right. But sometimes shouting louder than everyone else doesn't mean you're right.
Yeah, I think like from watching, like even in the villa, like the clips that don't get posted on the Love Island because they don't want to make it on there. There's like clips where like I feel like it started with the Sean thing, and then it just led on to the fact that Lucinda was constantly trying to wind her up. Like there was a conversation where Belle was having the conversation with Sean, and Lucinda is actually stood by the daybed just watching the conversation, and then she's like, can you just go away? Like it's like read the room. Like that girl does not know how to read a room.
Maybe that's the issue, that she doesn't know
and she doesn't. And then there was what was the other thing? There was another one when this was like last week.
Oh, she was
with Harrison, and she went inside, and Lucinda followed her into the changing room, and she was like, look, I don't want to talk to you. And I'd be the same. Like I know, like if I'm like someone who get really agitated really quickly, like I'll just say, look, I don't want to have the conversation now because I'm going to end up biting your head off. And I feel like she was fair for saying that. Like she just said, she's like, look, we'll have a conversation. She literally said, we'll have a conversation later. I just don't want to talk to you right now. So then she's gone outside onto the daybeds with Harrison, and then Lucinda has got into the bed next to them.
No,
and I was just like, you actually can't write it. Like, what what is going on in her head
I
to be
think,
like
like,
that. She
she
thinks that that's
wants-
normal.
Like Lucinda wants the best of both worlds, really. She wants to be friends with the girls, chipster, but still keep the peace in the villa, and obviously you can't.
Yeah, and I do
really
think
do
there
that.
is something to say in terms of like Lucinda and Scott. They have been on the show. This is what I think the fourth time for both of them.
It's
They've both
Scott's
done the
fifth.
games. But that's even worse. And I do think that they are going to know how TV works.
Oh,
they
yeah.
are going to know what it takes to get airtime. At the end of the day,
But
everybody goes in there
this.
for their career. They don't go
Quickly-
in there for love.
Quickly going off topic, I was watching Ty, who was in with Ella that season. He was on with Harry, who was in last year.
And he said,
And
"Yeah."
he said, "Did you see it?" He said, "I had a game plan going in." But this is the thing now. Love Island isn't about finding
Because I remember the very first season, they were smoking. They'd have so much
Yeah.
alcohol. Like, it was great TV.
Yeah, it was.
Whereas now it's all too like they keep them on leashes. Like
Yeah.
on the Saturday, the girls and the boys are completely
It's
split into separate
yeah.
villas.
And
They're not even allowed to talk to each other,
Yeah,
and they're not allowed to talk anything Love
what's it
Island.
maintenance.
Yeah, so they get like
Yeah,
nails, hair, all of that. But they're not even allowed to like talk to each other, and I'm just like,
It's too much.
that's just too much.
I think the best series of Love Island is season 5 with Molly May.
Yeah.
And after that, I think it should have just been stopped.
But I just think like it's rare now that you get a couple come out of Love Island that actually last.
Like each other, yeah.
Like no one seems to last. I think a lot of the summer ones have lasted, to be fair. A lot of their couples, obviously Shakira and Harry. I know that Yaz is split with Jamie. But then there's Megan and Connor. They're still together. Obviously Harrison was with Lauren until he wasn't. That's a whole different one. That honestly, I do feel really bad because I felt like everything that happened with Harrison and Belle in that villa, and when all of the islanders went in yesterday, the ones that were dumped, and everyone voted for them based off the Harrison and Lauren thing. And I thought, you know what, that's not fair on. And I can see when Belle was saying it is a cop out because they are the newest couple, but I also understand it would be unfair to pick one of the other couples when they are the.
Though, is it because with all this information that they have on Harrison, as you said, it's not fair for them to go through if he's still. I would say he loves Lauren because if you look,
I think Belle felt it was more of a cop out on just herself in the fact that because of him she's been dragged down with him as well. In this situation,
it's not about just yourself. It's about both.
Yeah.
So.
But you know what? I was really shocked that the producers let them all say about what was going on the outside. To be honest, because they never do that. They're always like, you can't say what's going on the outside. Because I do think though there is an element where, like, I don't know, I almost feel like I believe Harrison a little bit in terms of like him saying it wasn't, because we all know from the summer Lauren was very all for Harrison and she was like, will you please leave with me, da 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 da. And I don't know if she's like, she's seen that this is her opportunity to maybe bring her career back up a bit, like, because that whole Harrison and Lauren thing wasn't in the no one cared about it anymore.
One thing I will say was the fact that they come on my For You page sometimes, like when I'm scrolling, and I have saw in the past where like Lauren's posted something and then like a day later Harrison's literally done the exact same thing, and I think that's to get a reaction out of Lauren.
I think the two of them are just not a match made in heaven. I feel like they're quite toxic with each other.
Yeah.
And that relationship. I do understand what happened last year was a lot and they did go through it together, so fair enough.
No, but that's their own fault.
But they did that to themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I think the whole drama in everything has just been absolutely wild.
The thing is, where are all the challenges though?
This is what I mean. I think there's been that much drama. They did the Snog Marry Pie. They did movie night, which I think that's pretty crap. Though. But even that in the movie night, like there was something about like Lucinda pied Sammy because she felt like Sammy wasn't all for her and Sean. And then in the like video thing, it said about the fact that like Sammy said to Lucinda like, "Oh, I thought you were all for Tom." Da, 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 da. And Lucinda was like, "See, I told you, see." But the thing is, it made Lucinda out to be worse than Sammy, and I was just like, that's where I'm just like, it's not clicking in your head.
Yeah.
But you know what? There was part of it where obviously Jessie went in and said her piece to Lucinda. I do think it spiraled out of nowhere. I think the original conversation she was aiming to have with Lucinda wasn't the way it went. I don't think she was expecting it to go that way. She was just because Lucinda took it to offence about the fact that she was saying you're smarter than you're acting. No, I take that as a compliment.
No, I think Jessie meant that maliciously. I think Jessie went in knowing that Lucinda at the start, before she went in, that she wasn't liked very much. Jessie's got in, jumped on that, and thought, I'm going to send Bill longer if I go along with this. And then she's had that conversation, and I feel like she's been quite like malicious about it. By saying you've got this baby voice, I think that's quite condescending.
I can't. You know what though? Her baby voice does really irritate me in this whole Princess Pinkie Pie. I'm like, shut up, man! It's so annoying. It's so cringy. Yeah, but the two of them together makes me feel ill.
The thing with Jessie as well, the way she asked her dad, I don't care how you are. I already know how you are. How do I look? That is bad. You can't say that.
Yeah, I think though, obviously, the conversation they had, it started off really calm until Jessie said, "You're a lot smarter than you're playing up for the camera."
I would take that maliciously. Actually.
See, I would take it as, you know what? Well, clearly, what I'm doing is making me look stupid. That's how I'd see it. I'm like, well, she's telling me I'm looking stupid. Basically, I'm like, well, I think it's one of the other.
They fell out before they went in. 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because for her to say that, this is what I'm saying. Like, has Lucinda took that maliciously because they fell out, and she's turned around and said, "You look stupid," and Lucinda's gone, "That's offensive." Like, or she took it. I don't know.
I do think there's a mentality though with all the girls when they've done something wrong and then they play a victim mentality. I'm like, okay, but you're standing there crying. But you are the result of that situation. You've done that. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, you can't sit there crying about it when you've done it. You've done that. Like,
yeah, the girls. One thing I will say, Millie, she's carried herself like an absolute queen.
Yeah.
Like, she's literally not got involved in any drama. Like, she's not picked a side. Like, the only thing she said that I saw was that she said that she felt like they were ganging up on Lucinda a little bit, which I get because from an outside perspective, which she was. She's probably thinking, yeah, it is a little bit like that. But she's literally stayed in her lane.
I think she's just, you know what? She's a girl in love. She's so happy with that. She really couldn't care less what everyone else is thinking. I think fair play. That's the whole reason that you go in there for.
I still don't understand why Curtis was crying over her, but
I think he's got something wrong with him because in his interviews he does not look right. Like, I was like, someone needs to call Samaritan to him because he looks so depressed.
Really?
Like, in all his interviews afterwards, he literally looks so. But the one thing that made me howl was when he called Mitch out because of what messy Mitch had been saying about him, and he was like, if you've got something to say, like, come and say it to me, or like, even better, we'll get in the ring. And then Ty was with Jess, who literally just been kicked out, and they were doing their vlog, and then he called me and she's like, "Oh, what do you think about it?" And all three of them were stood there pissing themselves laughing. I thought, who does he think he is? Tyson Fury?
That is funny.
I was just like, what is going on? Leave that to Tommy. That was Tommy's job back in the day.
Did they mention his acting? I swear I heard.
No, Kieran made him do that scene from I can't even think what the show is. Yeah, Hollyoaks. He made him do this. And it was so funny. I was just like, that is just, and it's the fact in that scene killed me because his brother, I'm sure his brother went on Love Island too.
No,
he did. I'm sure he went in as a bombshell. I could have sworn he did. Maybe I was imagining that. That would be good TV, live TV. So, if you've heard it here first.
He was on Strictly Come Dancing as a dancer.
No. I feel like he was a bombshell. At the same when Curtis was in there, I could have sworn he was.
No, he wasn't.
Maybe I've just hallucinated that. But it was in that scene in Hollyoaks where he comes and he just spins round a bit. I'm like, what are you doing?
That is so funny. You have to clip that if you want to. That is so funny. That is funny.
Finally. I was beginning to think you'd forgot about me. What did Mum say?
Probably stop whinging.
True. How's Trish?
Heartbroken. She thought she was about to get engaged. Couldn't have been further from the truth.
Well, that's made my day, that.
It'll be nothing compared to what we've got planned for her.
We'll do our little, obviously, cheers. We can have Diet Coke because Josh doesn't like Diet Coke.
Slay. Oh, that was really loud there. I really apologise for that.
I thought, as like a little, off the back of our little debrief about Love Island, I thought, based off the couples who were in the finals, obviously, we're filming this today, and today is the Love Island final, so me and Josh will probably do like a little
episode about it.
little discussion about what we think about who's won. But the finalists are Yaman and Whitney. Yaman's one of the Americans.
Yeah.
Sammy and Kieran, Millie and Zach. Obviously, Zach's one of the Americans too. Lucinda and Sean, and then Scott and Leanne.
Yeah.
Like, how long do you think that they're gonna, like, those couples are gonna last on the outside, or which ones do you think are actually, you know, in it for love and in it
Millie and Zach will last a while.
Oh yeah, because that girl is in love.
I don't think they'll last. I think maybe a year.
I feel like Yaman and Whitney as well. I feel like because he's brought out like another side of her that, you know, you didn't see at the very start or last time. But I do think that they're more likely to make the America UK thing work than Millie and Zach, because I think Millie likes being in the UK.
Yeah, would Zach not come over though?
I don't know.
Would
like I don't know if he loves America. I don't love America, so why should he? Do you know what I mean?
No, I get it.
Sammy and Kieran, I can see them lasting, because I do think that there is very much like you can see the chemistry between them. Yeah, and I do think that they are like.
I don't think they'll last long term. Like
I mean,
feel like
they'd be like an Angel and Ty, last time, because they're still together as well.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't. I feel like a couple months, I think, and then Sammy will get bored of his shit. I think.
What shit? He's been quite well behaved, other than
because like he's quite young, isn't he? And she's like older.
Yeah.
So maybe she'll like want a bit more. I don't know.
I think Sammy and Kieran will last. Lucinda and Sean, I don't think they'll last.
I think they'll last a few months just to prove.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They'll do it to prove a point. Or they'll do a Harrison and Lauren.
They could do a complete opposite and actually stay together. You don't know.
I don't know. I just think, because obviously when Jack went in yesterday, when all the Islanders, he brought up the fact that she has that ongoing relationship. Yeah. He didn't, and I think what was
Have you saw him, the man?
No.
Oh my God.
So it's that Pepper Mayo, isn't it? That company. Yeah. What I think was really telling was the fact that Jack went into no detail about who this person. She knew exactly who it was. She was like,
yeah, but it has been mentioned
going on and off for a while, but no one's mentioned it in the villa. That's the first time it's been mentioned. So I do think that was interesting that she straight away knew, without any backstory to it. She knew exactly what
was said, who it was about.
But because obviously people are saying she's gone in there like because she basically does the brand deals for that company, because she's.
And I've actually seen
with
as
the
well,
owner or whatever.
Little side thing, that they actually are really bad at sending things out. That Pepper Mayo. Don't sue me. Don't sue me.
Allegedly.
We
can't get sued.
No, but that is what I saw on like TikTok comments, or like when I made an outfit and someone was like, "Oh, I can't order from Pepper Mayo because they never send it out." So don't sue me, but that is what they said.
And then Scott and Leanne. I feel like
they could work.
They could work. But I feel like he thinks too much with his head rather than his heart. Like, he's too busy thinking about the best way to go about something. And I'm like, you know what? Just do it. Do what you want to do. Like, don't worry about other people. Just do it. I do think that on the outside, I feel like the outside kind of world and opinions are going to affect the way he thinks about it.
But it's different anyway. Like, every single person that's came out of Love Island has said that the villa and being outside
completely, because you're in
your
own
bubble. Yeah.
Now, like, I thought off the back of this again that we would do like about like if we'd go into Love, or if our friends were to go into Love Island. I think personally, if I shifted some weight, dyed my hair, sorted my life out, I actually probably would go on there just for the jokes. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think I could.
I'd tell everyone about the podcast. I'm like, subscribe,
watch it. I could definitely not do it. I'm like too anxious. I hate being told what to do. I'd hate going to bed at 3 a.m. I'm in bed by 9 p.m. Like, I don't even see Love Island. I don't know. I think some of our friends could do it. But I personally couldn't.
No, I feel like I would do it for the right. No, I'm joking. I would
do they even get paid?
I think they do.
They get paid like their work thing or something.
Yeah. I would do it if I, shifted some weight but you know what? We're getting on a bit. We're getting a bit too old to be going into the village. You know what I mean? They're like the young ones.
Yeah, but we have.
Unless they're bringing us for All Stars, but then we've never been in that before.
Yeah. So. They need to do like
An
No,
older one.
yeah, no, like what's
Just like,
I need to go back.
50-year-olds.
That would actually be quite good. I'd like to watch that. I do think they need to go back to like the original roots of like not influencers going in,
And just random
like
people.
with 200 followers, like who actually wanna find
Yeah,
someone.
because the thing is, you see all these people, but like you actually know them before they go in the villa.
Yeah, like
because
you
you've
saw
seen them
them.
around before.
Yeah,
So it was the same with like Molly May, and so like, everyone knew who she was.
I didn't, to be fair. I'm
And
not
like
gonna
Tommy
lie.
Fury,
Obviously.
Curtis, everyone
But
knew.
to be
him
fair,
from the dancing.
Molly May changed Love Island.
She did.
She made it so big. Like she is the it girl of
She
Love
was
Island.
bombshell of all bombshells.
Yeah, she's the it girl. No one can replace Molly May. Like I loved her in that season, and I loved all the girls in that season. To be honest, like that season was so good.
It was, to be fair, with Maura as well.
Yeah. No, that is so true.
I love Love Island just for all the clips that
Like
come
the
out of it.
memes,
Like
yeah.
the ones where it's like they're just like pissing about the villa, and I'm like, what is going on? Like Kieran made, I think it was Zach and Carrington, beans on toast for the first time. They'd never had beans on toast
That is
before.
I love beans.
But they had to use a spoon and a knife because they had no forks. But have you seen? I seen it in a clip where they opened up. I think Curtis was crying and he opened the fridge to just stare in there for a bit, and the fridge was just full of ice cream. I thought,
that
I'd
is
come out
me.
about 6 stone heavier if I was in there. I'd be eating all of the stuff in there.
And I love when, going back to what you were saying about that season with Maura, is when Anna goes 3 days, 3 days. I love that season.
I think the whole cast of that one was just
so
great.
good. Yeah,
Everyone was great. I had no faults in the way that they went about the business.
No, it was so good.
Because Amber, she's a lesbian now.
No, she's bisexual, isn't she?
Oh, I thought she was a lesbian.
I think she's bi, or maybe she is a lesbian. I'm not sure.
I don't know how things change. Do you know what I mean?
You know,
but that's another thing. I don't ever see
like bi
same-sex couples going in. Like,
oh my god, there was in season, was it 2? And it was that girl, I can't remember her name, and Sophie. She's like obviously sadly passed away now. And her, have you not watched it? So basically, like the person she was coupled up with was a boy, and he left, and this girl come in, and someone asked like, "Have you ever gotten with a girl?" You know, back then it was a bit like unhinged, and she was like, "Yeah, I swing both ways." That's what she said, and Sophie, the girl, she turned around and was like, "So do I," and then they got in a couple. For only I think it was only like a couple days, and then she was like, "Oh no, I missed Tom, the boy." So I think she got sent home, and that girl got set up with that Adam who was in it last year.
Oh yeah.
Side eye, but yeah.
I think on the theme of Love Island, and I've got a text. I think we should do text messages that we'd never send.
All that
we'd want to send them, but we never would.
Scared.
I think my first one would be, and it you know what, we all know it's like it's going to be to that person. Do you know what I mean? Mine first one would be, you were a lesson, an expensive one.
Oh, that is.
I want my money back.
No, I get that one.
Give me my money.
Give me my money. No, I get that one. I do get that one. Mine would be, the audacity you have needs to be studied. Because what the hell? Just what the hell?
What is going on in House of Commons?
No, literally, what is wrong with men?
They're trash.
They are.
My next one is, you fumbled so confidently.
That is, stand on business. That is true. These men do fumble and they don't realise what they're fumbling.
Yeah, exactly. So. And they fumble thinking they've done the right thing. And I'm thinking, no, you've fumbled, Mr. Tumble. You know what I
mean? That is a good one. My next one is, I'm not asking for princess treatment, just basic human decency. To be fair though, I am low-key asking for princess treatment. But like, still.
My next one is, you didn't choose peace, you chose convenience.
Oh, that is good. Oh, yeah, that's true though, because some boys do just.
Some boys do.
They do. They just do.
Choose convenience.
No shade to anyone though. Just saying. Just putting it out there. My next one would be, don't worry, I'm not mad. I'm just adjusting accordingly. To be fair, I do get quite mad though. So.
Imagine being on the receiving end of these messages.
I know, I'd be sat there like,
you'd just never send them, would you? Because
you just don't want the drama.
No.
Not anymore.
My next one is, you said you weren't ready, but you were ready for everybody else.
That feels like a personal attack. Like, what? What is this?
That was me going like that.
No, what am I doing? I went like that.
Oh, I don't know.
But no, that's all I need to say for that one. And my last one is, I don't miss you. I just miss the version of you I made up in my head.
You know
Because
what?
I love fake scenarios.
Yes.
Oh
I
my
have to
god.
think of at least 3 before I go to sleep.
Same.
Otherwise, I can't sleep.
And then when you have a dream about it, you're like, oh my god, and you wake up and you're like, oh, sorry.
But then equally, when I'm trying to go to bed, I'll have a thought pop into my head of like, do ants have bum cheeks? And I have to Google it then to know. I told my mum about that the other day and she was a bit, that's such a weird thing. I was like, yeah, but I just couldn't sleep until I knew. Do you know what I mean?
See, I'm like going off topic. I can't sleep with anything on.
We know.
Like,
or it has to be pitch black.
No, it has to
no
be.
lights, no nothing.
Even if a charger light is there, gotta go. I don't care. I've got to be in the dark.
My last one is, and I feel like this one would be like really harsh to say, was next time just say you're bored.
Oh,
because I feel like so many people do just entertain just because
you're
bored. And I'm like,
yeah.
You're not. The other person has feelings too. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
I'm
like why are you messing?
I don't want to be on the receiving end of that.
But we're at a respectable age now, where like just be honest.
Yeah, but I'm like, if someone is chatting to me because I'm like they're bored, like just tell me because then I'll stop speaking to them. Do you know what I mean?
You press that block.
I have not got time
for that.
I'm getting too old.
We've got things to be doing.
I need to settle. No,
That's
I need to settle down. I'm not settling for that.
Yeah, say it again, Queen. Clock that.
So we've come to that point in the episode where we do our song of the episode. I feel like Josh, because he usually says that. I reckon. I'm gonna go with Lady in Red by Busy Signal.
I'm gonna go with Goodbye by Sabrina Carpenter.
One last thing to address for the person that messaged me asking if I'd cut my hair off. I haven't. It's just in a plait.
It's still here.
It's still here. It's not gone anywhere. I'm not cutting it anytime soon. But if I do, I'll be sure to let you know. And just like that, the text stay in the drafts and we stay evolving. Bye.